Okay.
Okay.
So mainly if we talk about calibration,
Mm-hmm.
calibration is nothing but which we use, okay, to compare and adjust employee talent and their performance rating. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to compare any two employees or maybe multiple workers, okay, like as we were discussing earlier, like suppose we have two employees to whom you want to promote maybe for any one of the roles that is getting vacated because someone is getting promoted. So for an example, if I talk about talent calibration, suppose we place two employees in a matrix, in a rating matrix where we can
Mm-hmm.
rate them. Okay. So the one that I'm telling you, like if there are two employees and if someone is getting promoted or maybe some role is getting vacated because someone resigned, okay, and someone should be filling it. For an example, like if you're working in a team of 5 members, okay, there would be a lead, uh, okay, there would be a manager, and there would be employees. Okay, for an example, if the lead is leaving or going or leave, team lead is getting promoted to manager, and or else team lead is has resigned. Okay, so there are multiple scenarios. Either we can hire some other team lead, okay,
Mm-hmm.
or we can see like the employees that we have. Okay, is there a scenario that they can be promoted to a team lead role? Okay, or maybe the
Mm-hmm.
team lead is getting promoted to a manager level role. So is there a scenario where any one of them can get promoted? Okay, but on what basis we can promote them? Okay, that is nothing but success and planning. Success and planning uh, is nothing but from the word only it is defined. Success and planning. Successor means if successor of any specific role. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one is employee development. Okay, for an example, I run a report, okay, where I found that there are few employees, okay, who are not up to the mark. So we can uh, plan something, okay, but to find the employees, like who are doing what is the performance of the individual employees. Okay, first of all, we have to know that. Okay, so in this two scenarios, we use that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so what mainly this performance calibration does? So performance calibration mainly distribute employees across a rating scale. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because there might be a different rating. Okay, because you can say we create different roles or we assign different development plans which they go through. So there are multiple team things that we define at an employee level. Okay, so mainly
Okay.
what this calibration does is it distributes various employee, okay, on the rating scale band. Okay, and it defines a single rating combining all of the ratings that they have. Okay, from the performance review
Mm-hmm.
that they might have received. Okay, and from that it defines like which employee is best. Okay, mainly this is what is calibration.
Okay.
Okay, so I will just show you one thing, like if we are going to launch any calibration. From here you will have a better picture. See, so launch calibration. So for an example, you're working in the sales department or any of the department. Okay, maybe the vice president is moving out of the company or vice president of the sales or maybe anyone at the top level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because if normal workers leave the company, we don't do succession planning for those workers. Okay, mainly someone who is at the high level role only, for them the succession planning comes into picture. But for the normal workers, the employee development comes into picture. So we can run in both the scenarios, okay, either for a succession planning or maybe for the employee development. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so for an example, this calibration can run at the top level organization. Okay, mainly we prefer the top level organization. Top level organization here is nothing but uh, you might have seen so many organizations. Okay, like in sales department we have different part. Okay, in the sales we have just like normal salesperson. Okay, like let me show you the tenant only. Like for an example, in the IT department. Okay, we will have an audit department. We will have an admin department. We will have a normal operations department. Okay, we will have a network department. So like that, there will be various departments that we create. Okay, so for an example, okay, we were talking about calibration. I hope you got what is calibration and why we use it for succession planning and employee development. Correct?
Mhm.
Okay, and I was just showing the supervisory organization.
Okay.
So like if we talk about organization, there are so many organizations that we create at client level.
Mhm.
Okay.
Just in the meantime, I was checking what type of organizations do we have. So all the payroll
Yes.
companies are listed into the organizations list. Inigons and
Sorry,
I'm talking about. I
sorry,
mean,
I didn't get you.
during the time, I mean, meanwhile, when you were connecting game, I just checked that my side in our tenant, what
Mm-hmm.
exactly we are maintaining in terms of the organizations.
Okay.
So, so all payroll, all different offices payrolls are listed as organizations in Egon's and
Okay.
that's
All
what
different payrolls are.
listed as custom organizations. For
So
example, there
see.
is an office in, I mean, I'm from KCI, right? Gurgaon
Mm-hmm.
office. So there is a KCI payroll. That
Mm-hmm.
is one custom organization.
So see, custom organization and normal organization is a different thing.
Okay.
Okay. So if
Okay.
I talk about
So,
an so if I talk about an custom organization, we create. So for an example, if there is a specific project,
uh-huh.
okay, for that I want to create a separate organization. Okay, in that scenario, we create a custom organization. Okay,
Okay.
whereas the normal organization that I'm talking about, if in your tenant, you open the profile of maybe any manager,
Mm-hmm.
okay, who's a full time over there. If you open a profile, I'll just give an example. Like for an example, Logan, Logan McLean. If you go to her profile, see, you can see a supervisory organization. This is what I'm referring to.
Okay.
If you click here, so this is the company name, Global Modern Services.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and within that there are so many subordinate. This subordinate means nothing but sub organization, you can say.
Okay.
Okay, So I'm talking about all that. Yes, if we talk about the custom organization that you referred, we can consider that as well when we are creating the calibration. It's not only limited to this organization. We can do that for the custom organization as well that you are referring to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But for an example purpose, I gave you this scenario. Okay. But for an example, as you mentioned that you belong to one of the custom organization that is there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If the company or the manager of that specific custom organization want to review, okay, the performance, or maybe uh, he want to check like whichever employee is there in that custom organization, how their performance is. In that scenario, they can run a custom organization, okay, and they can check like which all our employee are doing better, because we can create different ratings, correct, and we can see that. Did you get me?
Okay.
So that is
Yeah.
how mainly it works. I will show you like how that will work. Okay, like whenever you are going to create any custom organization. Okay, so for custom organization, how you can run. Okay, so mainly what you have to do here is there will be a report that will be created. Okay, from there you'll be able to see. Okay, there you can define like for which organization you want to check, whether it's a custom organization or whether it's a any other supervisory organization that you want to consider. Okay,
Okay.
so in this launch calibration, I will show you here only. Whenever you're going to launch the calibration,
Mm-hmm.
in the top level organization, you will see, be able to see here can you see here all custom organization by type. So this is what you are
Yeah.
referring to, and this is what I was explaining you. So it's not like this calibration is limited to any supervisory organization. It is for all the organization. For an example, here you can see the one that I was mentioning is supervisory organization. If I want to select any specific supervisory organization that I have in my company, okay, maybe at the executive level or maybe any at any other level, maybe for any one specific organization, maybe HR department or maybe IT department or sales department or maybe a finance department, any department. Okay,
Mm.
that is one. And the second one is supervisory organization by manager. For an example, uh, every department has a manager. Okay, for an example, if I want to check uh, the performance, okay, calibrate the performance for any specific manager. Okay, like there is a manager of the HR department who has around 4 or 5 members of a team, or maybe in HR we can have a recruiting department. Okay, so for that one, if I want to check, so I can just normally select that manager and his specific supervisory organization, and I can run this calibration. Apart from that, you can see the third one, supervisory organization by location. For an example, if I want to check the performance of an employee, maybe specific to India or maybe
Mm-hmm.
specific to any specific location,
Mm-hmm.
okay, maybe for New York or maybe for California, okay, I can do that. And the last one is nothing but the all custom organization. Okay, so as you mentioned, like there might be a custom organization for which specifically I want to check, so we'll select that one.
Okay.
Okay, right now I'm just going to select any of the supervisory organization that is there. For an example, global modern services. Randomly I'm selecting any of the supervisory organization. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
see, here there would be a calibration program that we have to create. Okay,
Okay.
that I will show you like how to. And one more thing that I want to highlight is if we are running the calibration event. Okay, so for workers, only one calibration event can be run. It's not like that at the same time we can run multiple. Okay, so that is the restriction that we have. For an example, if I am running a calibration event, one of the calibration event, okay, for a
Mm-hmm.
number of workers, so I cannot
Mm-hmm.
do at a time two different calibrations. Okay, if we do that, we'll get an error because there would be data discrepancy that will be popping up, and that will not be possible. Okay, and one thing you can see here, if I have selected this global modern services, okay, it is asking me, do you want to include the subordinate organization as well? Means if there is any subordinate of that specific organization, so whether you want to
Mm-hmm.
include it or not, we have to highlight that. So that will be based upon a requirement. For
Okay.
example, I selected any of the calibration event. Okay, performance review calibration. So what will happen is all the managers, okay, who will be there, okay, they will get a notification, okay,
Okay. Just
that
one
they manage.
question here.
Yeah.
As you said that I mean, we can run one, or we can launch or we can run one single calibration for any specific set of people, right?
Yes.
At a time. So,
Yes.
uh, is it like for example, let's take it in a bundle of 10 people. For those 10 people, I'm uh, launching a collaboration, correct? And
Mm-hmm.
for there are other 15 people which are, I mean, not same but different from those 10. So for those 15, I'm launching in another different calibration. So can it be the case, or is it like at one point of time in that tenant, you just can run one single irrespective of whatever set of people we are using?
See, right now you saw I have selected this calibration program.
Huh?
Okay. So in this calibration program, we define, so for an example, I have selected this organization. Okay.
Right.
But in the calibration program, we have to define multiple things. Okay. That I will show you and you'll be able to understand. Okay.
Okay.
So here, just for a reference, okay, like which all workers, okay, will be eligible for this specific calibration program, that also we have to define. For an example, in one supervisory organization, I don't want to calibrate for each and everyone. Maybe I want to just calibrate for people who are managers, okay, maybe who are not managers, only maybe a individual contractor, okay,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a normal employee, okay, or maybe vice presidents, directors, okay. So we have to create a rule over there, okay, which we do, okay, in this calibration review, okay.
Okay.
So, and as you mentioned, like for an example, if we are doing the same thing, okay, if we are running a multiple event at a time, calibration event, okay, that will give you an error, or maybe that will, the result that you will get will not be correct. So ideally, what Workday says is the best practices, we run one event at a time. Once that is completed, we can run another one, or else the results that we get might not be correct because
Okay.
there will be an interlink, okay, for the same worker. So that is the reason why it is advised, like, not to run, that the workers should be part of only one of the calibration event at one time. It should not be like for one worker I'm running different calibration event at the same time. So that will not be possible. If in case that works, the results or the output that we will get, either it will have an error or the results will not be accurate.
Okay. Uh,
Okay.
mhm.
Let me select one custom organization as you were mentioning about it. Now what I will do is I will create a calibration program and I will show you what all the options. See, if you can see here, I
Hmm.
am selecting random organizations, okay, which is there in the tenant. Okay,
Okay.
once you select any organization, okay, you can see the workers that is there for which we are going to run the calibration. Right now, I have selected
Okay.
one random one. Okay, as there are so many here, I'm not sure. But when you will be selecting in your tenant, you will have the real time data. Okay, because in
Yeah.
that
Right.
one, that only specific to your employee, your company is there. Okay,
Hmm.
so we have an option to copy calibration program or create a calibration program. Right now, I'm just going to create a calibration program. Okay, we have to give the program name. Okay, after that, you can see the due date. Okay, by when we want this to get executed, and this is nothing but nbox. This is what this is nothing but the report at which level we want to create. Like as I mentioned you right now, like whenever we are going to run any calibration, okay, there will be different uh, goals or different criterias by which we want to run that calibration. Okay, so mainly how we define that, that we do based on the nbox report that we have. Okay, here you can see. So this is by which we do. I will show you like how to create this. Okay, this is just for your reference now, but I will show you like how to create an nbox report. Okay, for an example, if I select a random one,
Hmm.
I will open this. Nbox shell limit. So as you can see here, okay, so here we have only one employee. Okay, this, as it is clearly mentioned here, Workday populates the nbox cell limit value indicated on the calibration program. You can change the nbox cell limit to optimize performance. So for an example, the higher the cell limit will be, the performance
Right.
will be lesser.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's better to keep it, because whenever we are going to create any cell limit nbox, okay, we will be having an idea like how many nbox limit can be there. Not exactly, but a specific range will be, it will be in 100 or maybe it will be in 1000, something like that. Okay,
Uh-huh.
from there we can check like how we can do this. Okay, if you want to hide this summary view, okay, that will be there, we can hide it. That will depend upon the requirement. After that, to whom this applies, like as I was mentioning you. Okay, so here why you are getting only one? When I went to this applies to, I should have
Hmm.
been getting multiple options, but I'm getting only one option here, which is nothing but director level. So see, as I have told you, I have selected a custom organization, okay,
Hmm.
which had only one employee.
Hmm.
Okay, and that employee level is director level,
Okay.
management level. Okay. If, for an example, as I have told you earlier, like the one that we are selecting, okay, so we are
Hmm.
selecting randomly. We don't know exactly what is the data or how many workers are there in that. Okay.
Hmm.
So if in case if I'm selecting maybe a custom organization, like for an example, if I'm going to select your custom organization which you are, so
Hmm.
there will be at least 10 plus workers, and 10
Yeah.
plus
Yeah.
workers will be at a different management level.
Hmm.
Okay. So you will be getting all the levels that is there, and you have to select here for which category of people you want to run this calibration.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
So you have to select that. As of this one, there was only one employee. That is the reason why you are getting only one level. Okay.
Hmm.
Unplotted help text. If in case, for an example, if help text is nothing but if you want to text anything, help text. So creating a text message, this box is nothing but if you want to highlight any text message, okay, to the one actually who will be going through this process. Okay. If you want
Hmm.
to highlight like what they have to do anything specifically, you can highlight this. If in case there is nothing like that, uh, we are not supposed to do text anything, maintain the help text here. Okay. So in many places, like in business process also, you will have this help text option. Like if in case any business process is run, okay, for an
Hmm.
example, the process is completed, I just want to uh, like for an example, I can give you benefits. Okay. In the benefits, I want them to select any specific dependent. Okay. If they are selecting a dependent, I want to give them a message like if their dependent age is above 26. Okay. If the son age becomes more than 26, they will not be eligible. Okay. So if I want to highlight anything, I can just write in the help text message and they will go through that. So at least they will get an idea. Okay. So what they are willing to. Okay.
Hmm.
So this was about this. Okay. Allow update of access potential during calibration. This is nothing but calibration can have multiple steps. Okay. That we can maintain. Okay. In the business process, if you want to update the one to whom this calibration event is applied, okay, at each and every step, so you can just click on this checkbox, and what will happen is an update will be sent to the respective managers at each and every step whenever it is getting completed or maybe in progress, whatever the status will be.
That means every time whenever anyone will be updating the
Whenever
right?
there would be any changes,
Hmm.
okay,
Hmm.
there will be an update that will be populating.
Okay.
Okay.
And how to decide who will be the recipient?
So in the business process, I have already shown you, okay, how things goes to which person respectively.
Okay. All right.
Okay. From there, it will be defined.
Okay. In a separate window, could you please open that business process? I'm sorry if I'm repeating. I'm
So see,
asking to
as of
repeat you
now,
something,
I'm
but
just showing you, okay, I will create here the unbox report as well for you. Like I'm just giving you an overview, like how this goes. Okay. After
okay.
this, what I'm going to do is, see, right now I've just shown you this report. Okay. I have not
Mm-hmm.
explained you in detail. Okay. So what I will do is, I will be creating a report as well. This is the matrix report that you can see. Okay.
Okay.
So like unbox, like how we can create an unbox. Okay. What are the fields that we select? Here in the filter, you can see like which specific organization or which specific type of employee we are selecting. Okay. Who all can have access to this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I will be creating this report, unbox report. Okay. After that, you can see what are the fields that they are considering. Okay. This one that they have created, I will create a separate one where I will be highlighting multiple, not one. Okay. So today I'm just, because this calibration is a big topic, so I will not be covering it in one day. Okay. I'm
Okay.
just giving an overview today, and tomorrow what I will do, the first thing is I will create this unbox report. Okay. Because in this calibration event you have just selected this calibration, but the main thing that works in uh, the calibration launch is nothing but this unbox. This is the main thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There might be a scenario like if anything is not working properly, because here mainly in calibration what we are doing, okay, we are trying to compare, uh, calibrate different employees, okay, based on the different matrix rating that they are going to get from their managers. Okay.
Okay.
So here the main thing that we have to understand is this this unbox report. And this, as I have already shown you a report in the past, okay, like how we create a custom report. So here unbox is nothing but creating a custom report, okay, based on, so this will not be a normal report, this will be a matrix report. Matrix report is nothing but in which we see the data in a matrix form.
Yeah.
Okay. Like what
Yeah.
are the
Yeah.
different fields are there. Okay. Because in this calibration event we will be selecting various performance type on which we want to create this calibration. Okay. Right
Okay.
now here if you see in this one, okay, so they have just selected one. Okay. I might not be able to run the report, that I will be able to run the report, but I might not be having all this option. But still what I will do is I will create a custom report where I will show you the different fields that on on which we can analyze. Because the unbox report that will be there, okay, or that might be created in your company, okay, that will not have one single field. And maximum problems or maximum issues that you might come across, or maybe the main thing that you want to know is related to calibration and specifically related to this report. Okay. So we will go
Okay.
in detail about this one by one, like what specifically here is. This creating calibration can be done normally. This is not a big deal. But the main thing is that report that we'll be creating. Here you can see the options. If you click on each and every options, you'll be able to understand. Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
the custom report that we will be creating, okay,
Mm.
there are very minute things that we have to understand, like why we are selecting what and what impact that is going to have in this calibration launch that we will be doing.
Okay.
Okay. Because see, from where we got this create calibration, we got it from launch. Okay.
Mm.
There we had an option of choosing any of the calibration event. Okay. So initially I have just shown you like there was a calibration which we selected, but when we create, like what are the options that comes in. Okay.
Okay.
Restrict organization level view. If you want to restrict the organization level, okay, who all can see and everything, okay,
Mm.
so you can highlight this, but mainly we do not restrict this. Okay. So if there is no such restriction, you can just leave it blank, or you can just mention it as zero. Auto complete first participant. Autocomplete is nothing but there might be so many workers. If I want to check, okay, if my calibration event is working in the right way or not, so I can do one thing. I can just try to calibrate the only first employee that I might have, and based on that I can see, okay, if everything is working perfectly or not. Okay.
Okay.
And talking about the next one, select validation for unplotted worker. Okay. So for an example, if For an example, here, so see, main thing, if you talk about all these things, see, you will, a specific line is highlighted over here, okay, from where
Hmm.
you can see it and you can understand. Okay, like here it is mentioned, when validation for unplotted worker is selected, okay,
Hmm.
users will receive an error or warning if any workers are unplotted based on the restrict organization level view population size. Okay, maybe if in case we are going to restrict, okay, this, so for an example, I have restricted for few workers.
Okay.
1 second, let me go there. Okay, so this two options that you can see, select validation for unplotted worker and select validation for target percentage population. There might be different meaning of an unplotted worker. Okay,
Hmm.
in the if you talk about normal, if you talk about normal, unplotted worker is nothing but someone who doesn't get paid, but here that is not the scenario. The here this is related to restrict organization level view. Okay, that is the reason why we are putting it as 0,
Zero.
because as you can see, yeah, because if we restrict this to any specific view, okay,
Hmm.
what will
Hmm.
happen is they will not be uh, categorized in this one. Okay, and in that
Okay.
scenario, we if we want to check if we are validating, okay, for those workers, then it can give us a warning or an error or none of the above. So that is the reason why you have seen, like when we were creating, we had three options. Okay, one
Hmm.
was warning, one was
Hmm.
error, one
Hmm.
was none of the above. Okay, so usually
Okay.
we in the, because see, if in the tenant, if we are configuring anything, okay, that is completely related to the standard workday practice. Okay,
Okay.
and for an example, here you can see users will receive an error or warning if any workers are unplotted based on the restrict organization level view population size. So if there is any restriction at the organization level,
Hmm.
okay, and if here 0 means no, 1 means yes, you can assume in that way. Okay, and if in case it is 1, so if there would be any such worker, and if we want to highlight that maybe as an error or a warning, like you might have seen whenever we are making any changes, okay, and in that in in that
I
scenario,
just.
worker, okay, which they do not want to use it, which is like as I was mentioning, like if we are running any task, okay, so we can see there is an alert sign when it comes up when we submit it, especially in case of maybe if we made any changes in the security, okay, there is an alert that pop up. Okay, so
Hmm.
it is pretty much safe. Okay, if we want to give such a warning sign, okay, we can select that, or maybe error sign, like for an example, if we do not want anything to be executed, okay, the
Hmm.
validation we want for the unplotted worker uh, to give it as an error, okay, we can select that. Normally we choose none of the above option. Okay, talking about the next one, select validation for target percentage population. So here if we are having any validation, any scenario, okay, here validation is nothing but we will in the Nbox report that we will be creating, okay, we will be specifying, okay, different performance review, okay, based on different criteria that we have. Like for an example, one will be excellent or very good. On that basis there
Hmm.
can be different one, okay. So if we are, while validating, if we are targeting any specific uh, population, okay, and for that if we want to validate,
Hmm.
okay, at that scenario if we want to give, because see, if we are going for, because mainly when we create any calibration we want to consider all the employees that is there based on their management level. As you saw here, there was a director level option, okay. So in that way, if in case, as you can see, the director level that I was mentioning, it was not
Hmm.
mandatory to select. I can just leave that as a blank, but still what it will do is it will select all the employees that will be there. But if in case, if I want to select any specific category of employee, maybe managers or maybe director level or maybe vice president level, in that
Hmm.
scenario we can select that,
Okay.
okay. So in the same way, this is the validation, as it has already written, when validation for target percentage population is selected, okay, user will receive an error or warning if any target population are not met in each box. You can see, like we will, when we will be creating the Nbox report, okay, there will be multiple scenarios that will be considered, okay. For an example, the supervisory organization that we selected, for an example, if they do not fall for any one of that one, okay, in that scenario what uh, validation we want to put, maybe an error or maybe a warning or maybe none of the above, okay.
Hmm.
So we can select that.
Okay.
Now coming to this calibration value mapping. So see, what is the meaning of default axis? So for an example, in mathematics you might have learned xy axis, we have xyz axis,
Yep.
okay. So what mainly the calibration does, so there is an x quadrant, xy coordinate, xx coordinate. So like that we have different quadrants, okay. So an
Okay.
employee can fall at any quadrant that we have, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want to select any specific one, okay, but that, because we don't know where an employee can fall, correct, he can be, because for an example there are four criterias, okay. So in the graph the employee can fall at any place, okay. That is the reason why we are putting here the row as a default axis. It can be at any level, okay. Did you get this?
Okay.
Why we are select, I just give you an example from the mathematical perspective, because see, if we have a specific value, okay, about which we don't know right now, so where it can fall,
Hmm.
okay.
Got
If
it.
it is -3/2, it will be in different axis. If it is 2/4, it will be at a different axis. If it is -5, -6, it will be in a different axis.
Hmm.
Okay. So that is how, because for an example, an employee can have different values. Maybe he can have satisfactory for one, maybe extraordinary for one, maybe excellent for a different one, maybe very bad for one. So based on all that, when the calibration one run, so based on the percentage that we have, because each and every one will have a different percentage weightage, okay.
Yep.
So based on calibrating all the options that we have, when the outcome will come, he can be at any level. He can be at a very good, okay, he can be a good, he can be an excellent, okay. I'm talking in that perspective, okay. So that is the reason why it has selected here default axis, okay. Column level, so this is nothing but, maybe they have all this label that they have created, like unsatisfactory, needs improvement, meets, exceeds, or outstanding, okay. So these are
Hmm.
the different that they have created. When we will be creating the Nbox report, we will be using all these options, okay, in the report, in the matrix report that we will be creating.